I had this question about 4 years ago. I started looking into the teachings and the reflections. I thought I had understood it, but about 2 months ago, my son started asking me again about the body, soul, and spirit, and I ended up feeling confused once more. So, I wanted to ask you. We know that in Genesis, when the Lord made man, he took dust, clay, and formed him. He also breathed and gave him part of his spirit.
He gave it life.
I have 2 questions in Ecclesiastes 12, verse 7, which states, "Then the dust will return to the earth as it was, and the spirit will return to God who gave it."
Yes, indeed, the conscience.
So, we have this physical body, and we also have the spiritual body, which includes the soul and the spirit, and in the soul is our personality.
The spirit, let's say the spirit of a person, God gives it, he sends it when the person is created, the process begins. So God gives a spirit to that being. Within the spirit there is the soul, the conscience, and reasoning. The capacity we have to think, to make decisions, and to choose between right and wrong. All of that forms what we might call the spiritual heart. It is there that our thoughts, our moral compass, and our spiritual awareness are centered. Now we also speak of the soul as the life of the body, which in a physical sense is represented by the blood. If a person loses all their blood, they die. So in that way, the soul is tied to physical life. But there's also a deeper spiritual aspect of the soul that remains, right? And the spirit dwells within the body. That's what we call personality. Therefore, the person is the spiritual part of the human being. That's it, the person. The personality doesn't die. The person continues to live. And when that being dies, its matter is what dies. It remains without the breath of life. But it says that the personality is already spiritual and continues to live and even becomes aware of what happened. It says it goes to where God gave it.
I'm sorry. Thank you, sister. What happened is that I used to believe that the spirit went to God, just as it says here in Ecclesiastes, and that the body returned to the earth, but that the soul was the one the devil would fight over. And later we asked another question.
No. Everything remains united. The spirit goes forth complete with its full essence. It's as if the person never truly died. It's still the same person, just no longer in the physical body. The flesh is left behind, but spiritually, the person continues. They remember everything. See, hear, understand. It's all still there. The spirit goes to God fully aware, remembering what happened on earth, remembering their loved ones, knowing they've left the world behind, and now they're with God, living a joyful, eternal life.
Thank you and pardon me. The last thing is that my son and I asked several pastors, and the last pastor who answered us said that all spirits go to God because we are going to face judgment. But he also said that the spirits of those who were God's chosen ones, who had been with God up in heaven, were the ones who would go on to gain eternal life. What I understood was that a person is born, and some are born with God's spirit. They are the chosen ones. But others are born, and the demon enters them.
No, we have a personality. We think, we speak, we make decisions, we feel pain, joy, happiness, peace, sadness, even bitterness, and we cry. That part of us, that emotional, conscious part, is spiritual. It lives within our flesh. So our body is like a house, the home of that person, let's say, named Jane Doe. Jane Doe lives in a physical body, and when that body dies, because it's the body that dies, the person, Jane Doe, goes to stand before God. And God, who knows everything, will decide where she goes. If she lived righteously, he'll say, go to that place. If she did wrong, he'll say, go to that place. And that's what God says to Jane Doe. So Jane Doe is aware of everything, remembers everything, thinks about everything. The only thing is that she is not matter. She is now spirit. She is now flying. She is no longer physically walking. That's the personality. That's us. We are not going to lose consciousness after death. We remain aware just as we were in our physical body. The difference is that the body we will have is spiritual. And in that spiritual form, we will move freely like the angels.